back home, African National Congress. In the last 2 months, the enemy thought that they will continue to run the Tshwane municipality for life. We've put a stop and an end to them. The Tshwane municipality. I'm raising this because here we've touched the nerve of the enemy. Yes. We've touched the nerve of those that thought the color of their skin will dictate how they run government and how they So we've taken over this municipality, comrades, for the betterment of workers and for workers to continue to have their jobs in that municipality. We can't have a municipality that decides unilaterally outside the bargaining council resolution that they're not going to pay salaries increase of workers in that municipality. The first task we gave to our new deployees in that municipality, it was to go back and rectify that misnomer and pay back what is due to workers in that municipality.
Dear white people, so you may not understand the politics that African people understand, chiefly because your heroes are not our heroes. And interchangeably, there are things that are plaguing you in South Africa that we don't understand, you understand better, because our heroes are not your heroes. Let me explain to you why we love. When I say we, I'm talking about South Africans, and I'm speaking on their behalf, those who love Panyaza. I'm not speaking for everyone, but those who love Panyaza. This could be the reasons they love Panyaza. Panyaza speaks for the interest of African people, the destitute. Well, whether he means it or he doesn't, we love that he speaks for us. Cyril Ramaphosa, for a lot of people, they feel like he doesn't speak for them. And let me qualify it again, because you're gonna type in the those that love Panyaza and those that do not like the other people that I will be speaking about. If you don't love them, it's your matter, we understand, but I'm talking about those who do. The reason we love him. And in this podcast, I will generalize. In this podcast, I will try as much as possible to be realistic. This thing of saying me only, I don't know about other people. I'm telling you about what people love. Panyaza Lesufi speaks for African people and the interest of African people, and we resonate with someone who does that. The same reason we told you many years ago that this is why we love Julius Malema. Tell us why you hate Julius Malema. If you're a white person, write in the comments why you hate Julius Malema. If you're a white person, write in the comments why do you hate Panyaza Lesufi. Because this is why we love Panyaza Lesufi. Just listen to him again. So we can talk.
In that municipality to demonstrate that the African National Congress is in charge of that municipality. We are also coming back to you, comrades, that in 2021 we lost Johannesburg, we got it back. We lost Tshwane, Ekurhuleni, we got it back. But the biggest pain, comrades, was to lose the province and to lose national elections on the 29th of May 2024. And comrades, we don't have to sugarcoat it. I've seen others, they call it the strategic loss, the strategic retreat. We've lost elections, comrades. And if you lose elections, means, comrades, that we must bury our differences and unite and prepare for the next round of confrontation, which is the next elections. So we come to you, comrades, to say we need to consolidate your base. And in most instances, comrades, we differ on small things, things that are not going to build the future for ourselves. There must be no room where we still differ when we're going through this kind of difficulties. I said this at the Lekgotla of the ANC, and I want to say this to you. the ship of the progressive forces is sinking at a faster pace. Instead of all of us trying to determine how to stop this ship from sinking, we are squabbling on who owns the ship. Because you can own the ship, but in the ultimate end, to take ownership of the ship when it's at the belly of the sea, and that ship will be meaningless. So we are coming to you, comrades, to say, let's rise to the occasion and reclaim the African National Congress. And the establishment of Government of National Unity, which is an option that was very difficult for us to accept, but it must not be the end of the National Democratic Revolution. There are many people that have taken a posture that now that we've established government with various political parties, that government, it means the end of everything. We must not raise up our voices and other things. Actually, I'm scared even to say amandla and long live the spirit of Erigwala, because I'll be told I'm disrupting the GNU. And we are proud as Gauteng that we've established government without those that are reactionaries and those that are against transformation. And we are proud that we must defend the government that we've established in Gauteng so that we can show to the enemy that we can run government without them, and they don't have a birthright to be in any form of government, and we can dictate terms on our own. This, comrades, is critical, because the agenda for transformation must not be at the mercy of those that created the difficulties that we had.
Panyaza always thinks of what is it about African people that is bothering them. And if that is white people that's bothering them, he will say it. And the reason we love him is whenever he says something in our defense, you white people attack him. This is one of the reasons we love him. Because if you attack someone who says something great about us, then we tend to gravitate towards him because we love him more, because it means what he's saying is true. If indeed Panyaza Lesufi thinks NHI is a great thing, and white people do not like NHI, and then we start worrying. Because if you don't tell us what is it about Panyaza that you don't love, then we're gonna make it up. We're gonna make up things that make you hate Panyaza. Panyaza Lesufi speaks better. Panyaza Lesufi represents us better. Panyaza Lesufi thinks the GNU is if he says amandla, that's what he says. If he says amandla, that sounds revolutionary, and it because it scares white people automatically think he's anti-GNU. The problem with GNU, so let me just take you on a small one. I was having a WhatsApp debate with my DA comrade. So we are speaking about the position of Ukraine, which Panyaza Lesufi will talk about, the position of Ukraine, Russia. So he says, I am not fair, I'm biased because I'm calling out a DA minister who has jumped the gun and compromising the president of the country. He says, I'm biased because I did not caution the president. So I said to him in a WhatsApp text, say, look, protocol is key in government. This is not branch politics. Protocol at the highest level. We are speaking about international relations. We are talking about the relations between countries and superpowers. You can't be chasing clout and not observing protocol. When minutes are not declared, you already go out and tell the people, you as a minister, you are happy to announce. This is amateurish politics in international space. What you are trying to do, you are trying to say, we as a white party, this is what we feel about Ukraine. We already know that the DA the DA thinks the white residents of Ukraine are supposed to be loved more than anyone. He has done it. John Steinmeier went to Ukraine to go and record all of those things. But whenever there are countries banning in Africa, he did not go. And you want us to be reminded that the DA, where most of its voters, I assume, would be people who are not white. Those people are, how do I put it? The DA does not love Africans more than it loves whites. When he went there to Ukraine to go and be in solidarity with white residents, so the people who are voting for DA who are African can demand the same of John Steinmeier to say, go to Africa, go to other places where Africans are persecuted. Because like I say, I don't know the stats, but I don't think majority of DA voters are white. I do not think so. I could be wrong, and if you show me the stats, the most difficult thing is proving a stat like that. It's going to be very difficult to prove stats in terms of voting, because I'm not talking about membership and fellowship. I'm talking about voting. I don't think it's more white people, but he has neglected the non-white members of the DA's interest to go and check the interest of white people. But let me come back. So the DA wants to cause qualms because they love Ukraine, and I know you're going to tell me that Russia, it's white and stuff. Yeah, but the stance of the ANC, who's the leader in government, the CIC, who's Cyril Ramaphosa, is the one who's leading government program on those things. And for someone to jump the gun, you are not only embarrassing yourself and DA, you're embarrassing the whole country. And this is why people have a problem with GNU. And if I call you out on that, it doesn't mean that I hate DA. You made a mistake, and I'm calling you out. You can't tell me that President Zuma, no, not President Zuma, President Ramaphosa, when he says something with Russia, he must consult Helen Zille. No, he's the state president, he's the CIC. He's the CIC. I think what the DA, and I don't want to call this comrade of mine of DA out, but you do understand that whenever this happens, you are actually saying you are a deputy head of state. You are not deputy head of state. In fact, you would even find that even the heads of states of the ANC were not even consulting each other in the presidents whenever they were making certain statements, because the president's office and the deputy president and the executive, those are two different offices. The CIC, which is the president of South Africa, is #1 person in the country, and he can't be asking a minister, what should I say to Russia? But anyway, let me go back to Panyaza. This is what happened. The debate that I had with this DA comrade is the very reason why the people do not trust and believe in the GNU. So he says the minerals belongs to us, but let's hear him more.
Donate the agenda of transformation to those that have created problems, comrade. Forget about that agenda of transformation. And that is why, comrades, we are telling the national leadership the basic amendment education laws, the BELA bill, comrades, that the president half signed. And we said to the president, it's fine, half sign it. Give them 3 months to say whatever that they want to say. But the reality is that BELA bill must be implemented in full, because there's nothing wrong with that BELA bill. We can't surrender our well-being to those that opposed us, comrades. And we can't leave this country and we can't leave this world to those that feel that they can oppress us and still oppress our children and our children's children. It does not work that way, comrades. The BELA bill is simple. All children that are born in this country must be taught by the same teacher in the same classroom. What's wrong with that in our lives? We can't be and tolerate that language should determine which school you should go, or language should determine which quality education you should access. Here we are, comrade, in one classroom, where somebody speaking isiTsonga, where somebody speaking isiZulu, where somebody speaking iSpedi, and we only go to different classes for that language, but everything we do it in the same class, all of us. What is special with this particular race that they believe they can have the whole school to themselves? We are saying all these schools belong to all our children. And we should not retreat, comrade. And we should not be intimidated. I'm not a product of cowards. I'm a product of heroes. And any person that is a coward, we are politely asking you, the era and the stage that you are in does not need cowards. Mele Saitini, let us the brave lead this particular transformation. And we are prepared to lead it, whatever it takes. Whatever it means, we are prepared to advance this transformation agenda, comrades. We are saying the same thing with the National Health Insurance. Comrades, it must not be whether you have access to medical aid that must determine which hospital you must go to. It must not be whether you've got medical aid, you should have access to experts that are in the medical space. It should not be whether we have a medical aid. When you are in the accident scene, you are asked who has a medical aid, who does not have a medical aid. And those that have medical aid are rescued first, and those without medical aid are ignored. Is it a sin to be unemployed? Is it a sin to be poor? Is it a sin not to have a medical aid? It must come to an end, and the NHI must be implemented without further.
I'm just going to let you finish the rest of Panyaza's speech. All I just want to tell you is Panyaza speaks about South Africans being cowards, and those who are cowards, they must stand aside. It is because of the persecution that he receives whenever he projects himself as an African man to saving the interest of South Africans. That's why he keeps talking about cowardice. It's not the first time I hear him speaking about cowardice. He once said, we're in Tshwane, and I can't remember what's the name of the gathering that we were there, and he was addressing, it was a meeting where, if you remember, there was a few years ago, taxi operators had to save one of their own who was killed by Nigerian drug peddlers. He was living in Soshanguve, and he was killed by drug peddlers there. So Panyaza came to represent the interest of those locals, and he spoke about something very fierce. He said to the South African Police Service, he said, the problem with you is you are cowards. He said it in Sepedi, and if there was a measure of hiring Mapudisa Lor as Mafiera, a lot of things will be solved. Like, for instance, what stops a police station that tells itself that we are going to have a policy of no drug, because they know the Sneemans, they know where they operate, they know the Nyaupes where they go and buy. Why can't they just eradicate that thing? They say, if a superior police officer come down to say, no, not in this one, and if it means they must fight, they must fight. They say, no drugs in our precinct. I'm just giving an example, but that's what Panyaza Lesufi was talking about, because he's very big on bravery, and this is why he can speak against the president and the DA whenever they are wrong. Machine political inquiry, let me stop it there. So, sharp.
And this transformation agenda, comrades, we must not retreat on it. Because if we can retreat, comrades, we are leaving pain and misery for our children. We can't be a generation of social grants and make our children to be a generation of social grants. We must reclaim what belongs to us. all the minerals of this country belongs to us, and they must come back to us so that we can hand it over to our children and we can rest in peace that the revolution had a meaning and the revolution will continue. So we are coming to you one by one, comrades. Isikhathi samagwala siphelile. Baboyi abatshethele morao. The stage that you are in need fearless ones. The stage that you are in need the second revolution. We were excited with 1994. We were excited when we put the ballot paper. The compromises that we made so that we can live with those that oppressed us have now been used and turned around, be a weakness on the side of progressive forces. We need to ensure where we are, where we stand. There is no country or inch of our country that you are told it's not accessible to our people. There is a place called Orania, comrade, where it has its own flag. It's its own currency. Their children are going to their own school alone, following their own systems alone, and they think that the best model of a better South Africa. A best model of a better South Africa is when we stay together and share the frustration, the wealth and everything of this country together. It can't be when it's bad, it's us. When it's good, it's them. Everything that is bad belongs to all of us. Everything that is good must also belong to all of us so that we defend a truly non-racial government. We can't be good when we watch rugby together with them, and we are bad when our children must be in the same classroom with their children. We need to change that and take over these particular progressive forces that we have. So the African National Congress, comrades, is a contested terrain. It's contested by those that believe they can control it from their own political parties. Helen Zille is not a member of the ANC, and the DA is not in alliance with the ANC. They must not dare try to dictate what is happening within the structures of the African National Congress. The ANC belongs to us, and it's up to us that will dictate where it should go. It will never be dictated by Helen Zille and the DA. We might be in government with them nationally, but they have exposed their limitations, that they want even to contradict our president when he speaks with the people of Russia. They want to contradict our president when he advances that, the transformation agenda. So we come to you, comrades, that if they've been sitting on our laurels to think this revolution has been achieved, you are wrong. We are entering the next tough, difficult phase of our revolution. If there is somebody who wants to delegate as vote, it's immaterial now. We need all of us to stand together as Africans in particular and demonstrate we fear no one. This country belongs to us. We'll defend it with the last drop of our blood. And those that think that they can hijack the ANC and hijack the alliance, they are wrong. The ANC is unhijackable. It belongs to us and we'll defend it forever. I wish you well, comrades. Thank you so much.